is Emerson. I'm a junior at Walton High, and this is the piece I'm pitching right now. It's called Venceremos, or We Will Win in English. It was made, actually made a mistake. It wasn't made in 1959. It was made in 1954 by Rina Lazzo. So she's a Guatemalan Mexican artist. She was born in Guatemala, and then she moved to Mexico, but she went to college, and then she met Diego Rivera, which is one of Los Tres Grandes, like the big murals and stuff. So yeah, she spent like around 10 years working with him, and then so Rina Lazzo was born on October 23rd, 1923. As I said, she was born in Guatemala, then she moved to Mexico. And so there's a lot of the story behind this piece. So first, she gets invited to North Korea. She spends there a month. And then she sees a lot of stuff. And it was right after North Korea's government had won a battle with the United States. So she saw that, and at the same time, something was going on in Guatemala with the same stuff where the U.S. was involved in the killing of some native people, which was really bad. So that's where she got the inspiration to make the piece, where she combined North Korea's glory after they won against the U.S. with Guatemala, which was in almost the same situation as North Korea when she was there. So yeah. Okay. So and then this piece, like around 5 years after it was made, it was lost. So apparently it was put in a private collection, and it has been there since like 60s until 2008 when it reappeared, and the North Korean flag was like painted over. Someone covered the North Korean flag. And this is the old one. This is like the original painting. On the one that's been displayed in Mexico. Right now it's in the Museo de Arte Moderno de Toluca, Mexico. So it's been displayed with like the North Korean flag painted over. So it's like just like a red thing right there, where the North Korean flag was. And yeah, so I think this should be in our collection, the Waltham collection, because the first. I think it's a very it drives you in because there's like a lot going on. So I think it's like a very interesting piece. And second, there's a lot of Guatemalan people living in Waltham, which they could relate to this because and they could also maybe teach them something. Because I myself, I was born in Guatemala and I didn't know about all the killings and all the stuff that were going on about like the civil war in Guatemala, which happened like maybe a decade after this was painted. So yeah, you can see like the early stages of the civil war like portrayed in the painting. So that's why I think it's like very important to have this piece. And then I think it just what drove me into like choosing it is first the story behind it, because it got like lost for like 40 plus years, and then it reappeared and it was like some stuff changed on the painting. So I think that's really so they have to like draw me to the painting. And then yeah, just because I think we need to like draw more attention into this stuff, because I know a lot of people from Guatemala who don't even know when the Civil War was, and like they don't even know about all the killings that were going on about that time, where a lot of indigenous people were killed, like literally like doing nothing, just to get killed because the government sometimes can be. But yeah, that's about all that I have. So, yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
That's a lot of scholarship.
Yep.
A lot of research. A lot.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it after he said that he was going to do this piece, and we're just like, we don't really see pieces like this, like the one that depicts like North Korea and the history, like you were saying, like the history that we don't talk about, especially in American schools. Yep. About the history of Guatemala, the history of its revolution, the history of the North Koreans and the Korean War. Like this, is not something.
And revolutions rising up.
Yeah.
And the solidarity between these two people that
I know,
these,
right?
These two very different groups of people that they were trying to show in the 50s.
Yep.
Why do you think it's called Venceremos?
So maybe because of the rise of like North Korea winning and then like motivating like Guatemalan people or like indigenous people from Guatemala to like raise and fight the government. That's why it's called like Venceremos. Is like we will win if we do the same thing as that they did. We will win. Yeah.
But she made it in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she worked on like different. She was moving from Guatemala to Mexico all the time, so
Yeah.
she probably worked on like both
I
countries.
think like we will overcome. Like I think venceremos is like one of those phrases that people identify with globally, right? So it's like Mexico is also still wrangling with like their revolution when she makes this too. So it's like all of your discussions about these different cultures like coming together, like I think in Mexico, people are also seeing Mexico here, even though this has like little to do with Mexico.
Yeah.
But I think they probably also would have identified with it. It's a really brilliant title, I think, for that reason.
Yeah.
And people, like a type of people, right? It's a big community connection in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your rationale for including it in the collection, I think, is really strong.
Thank you.
I really like that.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emerson?
Hi, my name is Mohammed and I'm a sophomore at Waltham High School. And this is painting from Diego Rivera, the Frozen Acid. It was made in 1931 on canvas with oil paint. Diego Rivera was born on December 8 in Mexico. He got married 5 times. The art was made. The upper panel shows the beauty of the New York City, and the other part shows that the other part shows the workers sleeping in the warehouses. This art was made to appreciate the New York's distinct vertical architecture.
You can do it.
And it was also made because the city's lack of fairness, and I think it should be in the collection because the artists work hard to make it and to convey their message, and the artist want to show his work to everyone.
To what, honey?
To everyone.
Oh, everyone.
It looks like there are multiple layers in this. What do you see on each level?
In this layer, the workers are sleeping in the warehouse, and in this, they are waiting to collect their money.
And why do you think Diego Rivera showed New York City in this way?
To show its beauty and the workers who work to make it is, and how fairly they are treated.
You said layers of fairness, like fairness, okay. I haven't seen this one.
Me neither.
Very cool.
Good job finding those.
Yeah, I think there's most of them.
Okay.
They found,
They
right?
gave suggestions, but they
Why did you decide to pick this one?
Because it shows how workers are not treated fairly.
You said that it's a mural. Is it a mural that's still?
It's not a mirror, it's art made on a canvas. It's made on a canvas painted with an oil paint.
Okay, it's made on canvas. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that is from. The Neo Fresco Steel Concrete, I don't know where that's from. That might be from another slide.
Frozen
Put the painting
assets.
can't.
Yes, painting on canvas. We'll look it up. Frozen assets.
Yeah, I'd have to find it. Do you know where it is now? Like, is it showing here?
We'll look that one up.
We'll look at it. Cool.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
My name is Anthony. I'm a freshman at Waltham High, and I'm taking Latin American art. So before I talk about my piece, right, let's talk about the history. This painting was made during the Great Depression. So like times were like where people they were working hard, but they made little amounts of money, and they couldn't afford a house, and they could barely afford food, and what else? They had like to walk because they couldn't get like cars, and yeah. So as you can see, there's like some man holding like a flower basket, and a woman helping her because he's struggling because I think it's like too heavy. And yeah, what else? I think he made this art piece because it symbolizes like the Mexican working class and the struggles they came with. And yeah, and I think this should go into the collection because he believed that all of his art should be enjoyed by all the people, and the powerful stories about the struggles of the poor emphasized like let me go back.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
So like he thought like people should enjoy art, right? And
That's okay, we got it.
Come on.
A little distracting, but.
like he told like powerful stories and the struggles of like poor people, because I came from like a Hispanic background, you know what I'm saying? I'm Guatemalan, American Guatemalan, and like I can like relate to this piece because my parents they're like struggling to get money, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I guess that's it.
That's great.
Great, you did a good job.
So if you look at this painting, I think that I liked especially where you ended that that struggling is something that is true at all times, right? It's not just during the Great Depression. This is something that people know what it is like often to labor, right, without a payoff often. And we're seeing a lot of that now, specifically, I think, and specifically with people from immigrant backgrounds. So looking at the picture though, do we think, and looking at sort of, and thinking about like the faces of the people, do we think these are specific people?
No, I don't think they're specific people. Yeah.
And why wouldn't he make them specific people?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Don't be sorry.
You kind of said it in your presentation.
You did kind of say it.
Because who was Diego Rivera making art for?
Oh, like Mexican Americans maybe? Oh, yeah.
Making it for the people
Yeah.
that he wants everyone to
To
relate.
enjoy, yeah.
I think he was definitely making art about the people, about like universal people.
Yes.
For like further, interesting things to think about is like, was Rivera poor? No, he was not. And were the people who were buying these paintings at the time poor? No, they were not. So it's like there's always like a lot of like class issues that are wrapped up in these. And it's more, I think, that it was like, they're about sort of like universal subjects than about like who his intended audiences were. And that's where a reading like yours is so useful, that you can sort of like reclaim that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You guys have questions?
Good, Anthony.
You did a
You
good
did a
job.
good job.